Guten Tag and welcome to my new show, Dr. Heisenberg Interviews Strange Mythological Creatures. I am Dr. Hans Heisenberg, and this is Jon, who has recently converted into becoming a zombie. Mr. Jon, may I call you such?
Yes.
The first question I'd like to ask you is, what is it like to be a zombie, say, day to day?
Oh, it's very hard. I always want to eat brains.
And why is the brain so appealing to you?
We don't know. It's just they taste like fried ham.
They taste like fried ham. I've never heard brains tasting like such before, but I will ask you that, how is it that you first became a zombie?
Well, some random dude just rose up out of the local lake and he came up to me and I thought he was like possessed or something, and he got close and he bit me.
You allowed this person to get so close that he was able to bite you?
I thought he could be a specimen of mine. I used to be a scientist. Didn't believe in zombies.
Oh, what kind of scientist? I love science.
I was a mad scientist.
So that's the best kind. Many of my viewers say that I am the same thing for interviewing creatures like yourself. Just last week I had a werewolf in here and he almost turned me into one.
I think that might have been my work.
You're a werewolf as well?
No, I created a werewolf.
And what does it take to be a zombie but still participate in the natural world? Like what?
Not eating my superior's brains.
Now, is it that when you are a zombie, are you able to differentiate between the different kinds of brains?
Oh yes, some brains are a little saltier than others.
And is a salty brain something that you prefer to eat?
No, it definitely makes me a lot more thirsty.
And does intelligence factor in at all as to what kind of brains that you look for?
The more intelligent people, they're not as good. They're a lot more stringy.
Really, I would not have thought that. I always believed that a zombie would naturally go after the type of people that were very intelligent.
No, unfortunately, we do not absorb knowledge by eating brains.
You are telling me that everything I've ever learned about zombies is a lie?
Well, have you ever interviewed a zombie?
Nein, not before today, but I'm very excited to have you here.
Yes.
And I must say that you look very good for being a zombie. Normally...
Well, truth be told, I literally just reanimated like 2 days ago.
I understand completely. I believe your mic has fallen.
Yes.
Is it that when you enter the zombie world, you begin to forget things in the real world, like how a microphone works?
Very much so. We are very, very forgetful. If we are chasing after something and we lose the scent of it, we completely forget about it. And
are zombies allowed to, say, drive automobiles or operate airplanes or boats or warships?
I don't see why not, as long as I don't. There goes that forgetfulness thing we were just talking about.
Ah, I understand. And what is your opinion of, say, vampires? I would bet that you are not big friends of them.
No.
Ooh, that's a bingo! I knew it, because none of the other mythological creatures like vampires.
Vampires
what is it about them?
They really started to go downhill the day after Dracula.
And you're aware that Dracula was a dear friend of mine back in the day. You're aware that he came from Romania, which was very close to my home country of Austria.
Austria, well, aside from being two different places, but
it's close to it. I had many friends in Romania.
The fact remains that Dracula was definitely the best, manliest vampire. He was manly. The rest are not. But the rest, I definitely don't see as manly.
I went over to his house once and he impaled thousands of people right in front of me, and we ate dinner in front of it. It was marvelous.
Now that's one reason why we don't like vampires.
Why not?
They take away from our brain feeding.
I understand. So it is that you are in competition with them for humans to prey upon.
Sort of like yes, basically, sort of like how a cheetah and a lion would.
I understand completely. I never thought that there would be such competition over humans. Now, I've come to understand that werewolves mainly like to target vampires to feed upon. What about zombies? Can you, say, target the brain of a vampire or the brain of a werewolf? Is that at all possible?
You know what? I don't think any of us have really tried. I would imagine that would have some pretty adverse consequences on both of us.
Are you afraid of creating some sort of hybrid species?
No, do you know? We just don't want the vampire brains messing with our brains.
I understand completely. I just think that if you were able to feast upon vampire brains, you could eliminate all of your competition right there and then.